Hello, hello. Come on in, everybody. I'm so glad to see you all here today. Hi, say hi if you're coming in. Let me know where you're from. I like that. I know we reach people all over, and I love that. So my name is Alicia J, and let me adjust you here. You're crooked. Hey, Nicole from Kansas City. Awesome. Yay. My name is Alicia J, and I offer marketing, business, and mindset coaching for virtual assistants to help them create a business that they love. And if you were listening to the sound of my voice, you have made it to day 2 of the Narrow Your Niche Challenge. Yay! So if you have not watched day 1 video, please take some time to go back and do that. You don't have to stop right now and do that. But the videos do build on each other. So take some time, go back, find the day 1 video and watch that. I promise it's short. It's less than 20 minutes. It's not going to take up your whole day. But like I said, the content builds on each other. So take some time to watch that. I will give you a short recap, though, of what we covered in day 1. Yay, day 2! The short recap of what we covered in day 1. We talked about narrowing your niche and why it's important to specialize in your virtual assistant business. We talked about specializing in either what you do, so the services that you provide, or who you do it for, so your target market. And then our action step was to brainstorm on that and see what we felt like would be a good fit for us, and then come into the Facebook group on the day 1 thread and leave some comments in there as to what you think or ask your questions. So we got a lot of good conversations going on in there. If I haven't gotten back to you yet in that day 1 thread in the Virtual Assistant Empowerment Facebook group, I will get to you. So please don't worry about that. I'll come back and get to you. So are we ready for day 2? Woo! Okay, day 2, we're going to talk today about your services, and we're going to discuss about how to figure out the skills that you have and how to turn them into services. So why is this important when it comes to your virtual assistant business? Well, because you don't want to just say, hey, I'm a virtual assistant, or hey, I have a business now, hire me. You need to get more specific. You need to make it clear to people what you do so that you can find the clients that you really want to work with. So how do you go about this process? Well, let me give you some tips, and this is how I tell my clients to do things, and usually it really helps them to write it down, and they really get some aha moments from this. So the first thing I suggest doing is make a list of all of the skills that you have. And when I say all of the skills, think about your current job, if you have one, any past jobs, and also life experience skills, because that can be big too. Now, it might take you, and it should take you, a couple of days or some time really to think about this and come up with this list. And here's why. Because some things you're going to think right off the bat, oh, I know how to do, let's say, word processing or something, and you realize that's a skill and you write that down. But there are going to be things, and I guarantee it's going to happen because it happens to my clients all the time, there are going to be things that you don't even realize it's something you're really good at, and you just assume everybody can do that. It happens. So that's why I say take the time to really develop and think about that list. So you're going to have things that come up for you right away, and other things as you're going through about your day, whether it's things in your personal life or in your job, you're going to realize, oh, well, this is a skill. Not everybody here knows how to do that. I guarantee you that's going to happen. So don't forget about those things when you're making your list. Then, once you have the list, and this is the important part, just focus on the ones that you really love doing. Because when you look at that list, you're going to have all the things you're good at. That doesn't mean you like doing all of them. So maybe in your job, you do some bookkeeping and you can do it, you're skilled at it, but you do not enjoy that. Well, you don't want to add that to your list of virtual assistant services, because while you may be able to bring in clients to do that, you're going to hate the work that you do. And who wants to do that, right? This is your business. I want you to love what you do. That's what I say, right? I help people create a virtual assistant business that they love. So this is the start of doing that. You really want to focus on the things that you love doing, not on the things that you can do really well, but you'd rather, stick your head in the toilet than do them. So That's how you start with the building the list of skills and focusing on the ones that you really enjoy doing. Now, out of that, I'm going to give you an idea here of services that you can provide in your virtual assistant business. So you can compare this then to your list of skills that you've made. And I guarantee some light bulbs are going to go off for you, because when I do this with clients, it happens and they say, oh, that's a real thing that I can do? Well, I could do that. It also helps to build your confidence a bit when you realize there are people offering services, things that you know how to do. So I'm going to go through the list, and I will try to do it slowly because I tend to rattle these off, and I realize that's not helpful to you. So I've kind of broken them down into categories that make sense in my brain. This is not the be all end all, but these are the things that I tend to cover a lot with clients. So your first category of services would be administration. A lot of people tend to come in looking at doing general admin work. So let me give you an idea of some things. You have calendar management, email management, managing someone's schedule, prepping documents, creating forms for them, doing travel arrangements for them, booking speaking gigs. You can do call center work whether it's after hours or during hours and they want a live person to answer, help desk services, database management. These are some things in my mind that fall into like a general admin category. So think about those when you're thinking about the skill set that you have, and maybe you fall into that category with some of your skills. The next thing that comes up for me, and again, these are just kind of the names of the categories I'm giving them. The next one is content creation. So a lot of this has to do with words and writing. Think about blog writing or managing someone's blog, whether they are coming up with the topics and you're kind of tweaking it, making it look good, or if you're going to actually write for people. So there's writing and ghost writing as well that you could offer. And I'm looking over because I have a list, because there's so many things I couldn't just remember them off the top of my head. You can help people with their newsletters, whether it's online or in print, but a lot of people have it online. So for example, they keep in touch with their list by sending out a newsletter or regular emails to them. You can help with that content or the setup and send out of those things. You can offer transcription services. You can help with when they launch products or services. So there's a lot of content involved with that. And I mentioned writing, and then there's editing and proofreading. So all of that to me comes under content category. So again, keep those in mind when you're thinking about the skills that you already have. Next up would be the tech stuff. So these are things like setting up websites for people, doing coding, setting up their shopping carts online, setting up their list building software. Maybe they need a membership site set up or their affiliate program. So it's all those back-end techie kind of things. Maybe you're really good at those things, and remember, not everybody is. So that's kind of the tech category. Next you have marketing. So this can encompass a lot, and you're looking at offline and online marketing. So you have social media, which is obviously big. There's a lot you can do in that category with social media. There's public relations would fall into this. And as far as marketing offline, anything that the business is using to get themselves attention offline, you can help with the marketing aspect of that. So the next category, when I think about these services categories that you can plug in your skills to, would be design. So you can do website design. You can help people create their social media profiles, because you know how on every platform it comes up differently. There's banners and headers and all kinds of things. As well with social media, you have graphics. You see people with quotes, things like that. I even have on my site as well. What else did I want to say about social media graphics? I can't remember, but there's a lot involved there. So that's a big category. And then there's the in-print things like flyers and business cards and brochures. When people have a brand, it needs to be cohesive. So maybe you're good at plugging in all the pieces and putting it together in the design category. So The next category you have is numbers. Maybe you're a numbers person. That could be creating spreadsheets for people to keep track of things. It could be bookkeeping or accounting. It could be helping people prep for their taxes or just create organized systems and processes for how they track their money for income and expenses. It could be helping people create a debt payoff plan or a savings plan. Maybe you're innately good at that, or it's something that you already do in your job, and you can translate that into helping other businesses do that. So that would be like kind of the numbers category. The last one I want to mention is what I kind of call a management category. Maybe you're the person who's really good at organizing and getting people together and delegating and keeping things running smoothly. That might be you. If so, you can look at creating your own team of virtual assistants. So maybe you have different people who specialize in different things and you kind of oversee it all and make it all work together. You could also do that for another business. It's called Online Business Manager. It's a real thing. You can get real training for it by really good people who know what they're doing. So you can manage someone else's business online for them and their team and keep things running. And then there's event management. There's so much that goes into that, whether it's planning the event and promoting the event, and then at the actual event itself. Now, this is online and offline. People, you generally think of events as offline things, but remember, with our technology nowadays, people do a lot of online events, teleseminars, telesummits, webinars, online courses. So you can certainly help with prep and behind the scenes and back end of all of that. So those are some of the basic categories that I think of when I think about turning skills into services. Let me just tell you those categories really quickly again. You have admin, content creation or writing. There's tech, marketing, design, working with numbers, and management. So like I said, this is not the be-all end-all. This is just a general list to really get you thinking. Before I go any further, questions on this list. Are you having any aha moments as I'm saying this? Are you sitting there thinking right now, oh, I fit into that category. Tell me, let me know. Give me an idea here. Or tap for hearts, that's good too. If we're on the right track and you feel like you're getting something. I see totally. Yes, good. Okay. So this is a step that I know a lot of VAs or people who are interested in becoming a VA get stuck with because you don't have anyone to bounce this information off of, right? You're not sure if the skills that you have can be even translated into something with services. So I'm hoping that this video is helpful for you today to realize that more than likely when you're making that list of skills, you're going to find services you can plug them into. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say about this is remember that this is your business. You can add and subtract these services anytime you want. Isn't that cool? I know, I love it. So think about it as you're going. If you get some clients in for a particular service that you thought you would really like to do, and then you realize you really don't like it, and it's not the client, it's the kind of work, don't offer that anymore. Finish up the job that you're doing with that person, respectfully refer them to someone else who could help with that service, and stick to the ones that you love. It's okay to change it up. And as you're going, you also might get interested in other topics and other categories. So great, learn about those things and add them to your skill set. And it's a fabulous time for you to get in touch with your current customers and say, hey, I'm offering this great new service. You already do such and such with me. Now I can do such and such for you. Isn't that awesome? So it's a chance for you to build your client base. And I think we all know that it's easier to get your current clients to work more and spend more with you than it is to pull in new ones. So as you add skills, remember that, you add to your services and go back to the existing client base that you have and present that to them. Now, I did mention just a minute ago here that you can always learn new things. And I do have some really great resources for you because if there's a skill that you're interested in learning more about because you want to provide a service, I can almost guarantee you that there's someone out there that teaches that one specific thing. So maybe it's social media management, or it's, how to help people with their list building software, whatever it might be. There's someone who teaches that particular thing. You can reinvest back in yourself and your business and take a course and learn about it. So I am going to give you, depending on how and where you're watching this video, there will either be a link to an article I wrote with some trusted resources, or you'll get that in your membership information. So yes, there are a lot of resources out there, but part of what I do at New VA Advice is make sure that I share with you what I feel are really trusted ones, because I always wish I'd had somebody to do that for me when I started out and I didn't know anyone online doing this kind of work. So I'm going to share the ones that I feel are really good resources for you. Okay. Any questions before we go further? Any thoughts on your skills or services? Or are you excited about this, about making that list and seeing where you can plug things in? All right. So, I thought the skills I had were too basic and not enough, and wasn't enough. Well, hopefully after seeing this list, the categories were an eye-opener. Good. That was my hope, because that's the thing. I think a lot of what plays into this as well is confidence, right? Most of us starting out in this have never run our own business, and we often question if we can even do this. So hopefully when you get educated on things like this in the setup and foundation period of your business, you can get that confidence up. And usually doing exercises like this where you realize that it's a reality and people offer these services, that helps a lot of times. So I'm glad that you're finding that helpful. Okay, so let's recap what we talked about today in day 2. In order to figure out the services you're going to provide in your business, you need to list the skills that you have. That's going to take you some time to come up with. And then you want to focus just on that list on the ones that you love the most. And then keep in mind that you can add things as you go, you can learn more, and add new services. So then you want to check my list of suggested categories, service categories that I gave you in this video, and see if you can plug together your skills and one of the services listed. So that's what we covered today. Let me give you your action step. And I think it's pretty obvious from the conversation we're just having now. Your action step is to brainstorm this list. Start coming up with it. Write it down. Even write down those services and see if you can plug them together. And then I will start a new thread in the Virtual Assistant Empowerment group for day 2 of the challenge. You can go in and find that thread and then leave me your comments. Tell me the ones you're already thinking about. Like I said, I know it'll take some time to make the list, but I'm sure there are some things that you're thinking of right off the bat. Go in there and tell me what you're thinking. Or if you have questions and you're not sure if yours are going to make sense as a business, write it in there and we'll talk about it. We've already gotten some of that discussion going in day 1, but day 2 is really when we're focusing on this whole service concept. So get in there, tell me what you think, and I'll be happy to help you answer questions or look at your list and tell you if you're on the right track. So that is it for day 2. I would love if you'd come back tomorrow and join me for day 3 of the challenge, where we will be talking about your target market. So these are the people that you serve with the skills and services that you've figured out from today. So thanks again for joining me. I hope that you found this helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Have a great day.